Chapter 32. Fists pounded on my door. I gasped as I sat up in the dark. "Coats on, meet outside," a boy's voice cried. Hamlin? I reached for my coat, feeling along the wall until I came to its hook. There it was. My fingers fumbled numbly, trying to tug my arms through the sleeves and do up the buttons. I shoved my feet into my shoes. Were we being bombed? Why would we need coats? The shelter was in the basement. The pounding fists and call to meet outside continued along the hallway, the noise louder as I opened my door and stepped out among the other children, also trying to get their coats on over their night clothes. When Hamlin moved on from our hallway, the silence was broken only by the quick slapping of shoes on the floor as we hurried. A hand grabbed mine. Meg's, of course. I squeezed back. Someone found my other hand, Brid, with Kylen hanging onto her already. And then we were outside, swept along in the crowd of children. The night glowed orange and flickering. The air was heavy, smoky, like at home during the bombings. If we were being bombed, why had they had us come out into the night? They'd promised Mother and Father I'd be under concrete and steel. We walked onto the grounds toward a large fire, its flames licking high into the night. I looked up at the sky, trying to make out aerials through the smoke. Nothing. No roar of engines. We weren't being bombed. Adults were around the fire, but they weren't trying to put it out. They were feeding it. Our mapping tables, our charts and codes and papers, our books. Were Tissians here to burn Fader? No. The adults were in Soferender uniforms and civilian clothes. They were our protectors, burning our things. While we watched. But hadn't our work been important? As I watched the flames devour it, I realized that was why they had to burn it, so it wouldn't be left, so nothing would be left. And there wouldn't be, not even us. We were leaving. Tissia wasn't here yet, but they would be. Pretending to be a school wasn't going to be disguise enough. It was over. When I finally looked away from the fire, was it the brightness or the smoke causing my eyes to tear? And around me, at the others, proctors were handing out packets of paper. When they got to us, Megs and I dropped hands. Put these in the inside pocket of your coat. Keep them safe. We each nodded as we accepted our packets. As the grown-up moved on, Brid whispered, "And what if something happens to us?" I shrugged and did my best to squeeze the papers inside my coat. The examiner was talking, her voice loud. All the children turned at attention to listen. "We're heading north to the next train stop. With so many of us, we'll have to go on foot, but we should be there by morning. A train will meet us. We'll continue up to the sea, where we'll board boats to take us across to Eileen." We were each handed a personalized yellow card. We all stared at them. "Leave Soferend? These are your passes for the boats, in case something causes us to be split up. Get to the water and show this pass to any boatman, and he should take you across. Keep your military ID and clearance on you for entry into Eileen, but if Soferend falls and you are taken by soldiers of Tissia, it would be better to appear as child refugees, so destroy everything at the time that seems imminent. Tickets, military ID, documents. If that happens, you are never here. This place did not exist. Let's go, keep up." With that, we turned to follow her through the back gate, forming a moving column. When the examiner paused, 80 shuffling feet behind her also paused while she spoke to a figure by the fire. "Tommy." He turned. "You're coming with us." "No," he said. "Yes, Tommy, come on." "No, I work downstairs now. I'm staying with them." "There is no more downstairs. No one's staying. They'll all be dispersing for different missions. You're coming with us." He shook his head. "We've promised your parents we would do our best to keep you safe." "Who cares? What's the difference now? I'm not a kid anymore." "This isn't about you being a kid. This is about us needing your brilliant mind when we get to Eileen. Your colleagues' work will be in vain if we don't get there to receive it. You're coming. It's an order." The young man with Tommy nodded to him, but Tommy still hesitated. "I'll need you there, Tommy." Tommy stepped over to her and accepted his yellow ticket. I stood still as the group continued to move on, my own yellow ticket in my hands. Where was a Nevi? The Simpson had said it would be impossible to lose a Nevi. What about Gunnar? Where was he? Come on, Megs called to me. People hurried to keep up with the examiner, who was setting an alarmingly fast pace at the front. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. It is easy to protect yourself and your loved ones. It is harder to protect and care about others, because other people matter too. Every person matters. Wait, I yelled. Megs, Brid, and Kellen stopped. I have to take care of something, I said. No, you don't, Meg said. It's part of my assignment. Meg shook her head. Go, I'll catch up. Stay with the group. I'll call you here. I pointed to her breastbone. And catch up. I will only be a few minutes. Kylan moved first. She grabbed Meg's hand and ran, pulling her along. Megs looked back at me. Once again, my I love you for her stuck in my throat. She already knew, though, didn't she? I would be with her in just a few minutes. I turned to run the other way. I went into the garden shed, found what I needed there, and hurried back into the house. Proctor still filled the main room, dragging evidence of our work outside. I carefully peeked down the hallway. All clear. I turned left to a back staircase, climbed the stairs, ran down another hallway, and unlocked a door.